Good? I look good? Can I see? Hey girl. Okay, anyways. Hey guys, it's Kayla with the Garden Groomer. I am getting ready to do some spring cleanup at the farm. If you've watched previous videos, you know that we have recently purchased an urban farm and garden here in Des Moines, Iowa. It is March. It is prime time to get the gardens cleaned up and prepped for the season. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of garden cleanup, and I thought I'd take you guys along before we probably switch this into what's that called, fast forward mode, you know, when you go really fast. Time lapse, yes, that one. I'll kind of show you what we're working with. I've got a bin here that I'm going to put all my leaves and stuff in that we're going to start carting over to the compost bin. Trash bag for trash because it's been very windy, lots of trash, and then just some basic tools. I've got my leaf blower, a hedge trimmer, and clippers. Both of those will help me cut back perennials, and a pair of gloves. Okay, I just thought I'd kind of make note of what it is we're cleaning up and why. The one thing that I do need to remember is I didn't plant a lot of these perennials. They came with the house, so I don't know the exact varieties, but I do know the signs to look for. This first thing we're looking at is a hydrangea. Fairly certain it's an arborescens variety, but literally today all I'm gonna do is come in and peel back all of the old leaves that are in here. And if you look really closely, I'll get the sunlight out of there, and you can see these new little buds starting to pop up. And I might even come in and remove some of the rocks around the base of the plants. I personally don't love using rocks in my landscape, but it's just what the house came with, so we're gonna roll with it. I think we might repurpose them in some other areas, but for now I'm gonna go through and clean this out. I'm actually not gonna trim the hydrangea. Trimming hydrangeas is pretty, it's fairly easy, but depending on the variety, it could either be growing on new wood, old wood, or sometimes both. So I like to wait until the plant has really budded up before I kind of attack it with clippers. And then this next plant down here that I'll also be cleaning up is a variety of coral bell. Again, I didn't plant it, so I don't know the exact variety. Right now, it's just a big crunchy mess. So I'm gonna come in with a pair of my hand clippers and just kind of come in and clean out all of these dead leaves from last year and just give it a fresh start. Like I said, we're in spring, so we're getting some warm temps soon, so clearing this out will kind of let it breathe and get some sunlight to grow healthily. And then this next plant here, I'm fairly certain it's a type of salvia. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm trying to see if I see new growth, which maybe I do right here. But I'm gonna kind of carefully go in with my hedge trimmers and clippers, clean out all this dead growth and let the new stuff shine through. And then I guess the last one we'll talk about quick before I dive in are grasses. Again, to my knowledge, these are Coral Forester grasses, pretty standard for our area. You can already see the new green grass coming in. So all I'm gonna do is take my hedge trimmers and kind of cut off like the top 3/4 or so and bring it down to where this new green stuff starts. Just gonna tidy things up and let it grow fresh from the start. So now I'm gonna dig in. Sometimes when doing spring cleanup, you can either use a pair of hand clippers or a pair of hedge trimmers to do the whole thing. To me, I like using hand clippers on more like irregularly shaped perennials. So these, I don't want to come in with a hedge trimmer and knock the whole thing off and get rid of all the corms and the new leaves for this year. It's a little bit more delicate, so I'm gonna go in with the hand clippers. But for something like the ornamental grasses, which we've already trimmed down here, there's really nothing that you could accidentally cut back unless you cut them too low. So something like that is easier and more efficient with the hedge trimmers, kind of like cutting hair. You can just go in with a pair of buzz cutters and clip it off. But for now, like I said, with these coral bells, I'm just trying to go in and get rid of all of these old leaves and old growth, so all of these can start to leaf out, and it just looks cleaner and nicer and lets the plant get more sunlight. It doesn't look like much, but It will in a couple weeks, I promise. He could probably be split and divided too. He's pretty heavy, but we'll leave him for now. There. That's better. Happy guy. These are the little lime hydrangeas. Oop. And as you can see, unlike the other ones, there's not any new growth at the bottom, but if you look really close, there's tiny little buds. Wonder if I can do like one of these so you can see. Tiny little buds coming out at the top. And you can tell with these, all I did was deadhead. So there'll be these little, little dead growth from last year on here, the spent bloom heads. I just go in and trim right above where the next little node's coming out. So you can see all of my cut marks are right above where the new buds are starting. And again, I will wait to drastically trim this once it's all leafed out, and then I'll just go in and clean out some dead. But I'm gonna keep going because I could talk to you all day and then I won't get any work done. Okay guys, we just finished up what we can physically do today. I think I'm quickly realizing we're gonna need to break out this property into zones in order to tend to everything, but I thought I'd do a little walk around to show you what we did do. So this is where we started this morning, cleaning out leaves, cutting back perennials. We've got the hydrangea here, the coral bells, and what I think is some salvia. Again, I didn't plant everything last year, so it'll be fun little surprises to see what comes up. But I just think it looks so much better when all the leaves and the old debris and the grasses get cut down. It just looks fresh. Ooh, we can quickly walk around the front. I'm trying to guard my microphone from the wind. But even out here, we cleaned out all of the leaves that are around the base of the shrubs. These nice ivory halo dogwoods. They look great. I love the stem color. But we cleaned out the leaves in there. We cut down the other grasses that were out here. And then over here, we finally emptied out our Christmas containers that we did last year. Go put these away. And then out here, we just did some leaf cleanup. So we cleaned out that hydrangea, which looks really sad right now. But if we look close, there's tiny little buds coming out, and you can see that I trimmed off the old growth right at the top, right above a bud, which is exciting. So I'm excited to see this guy come back. Same thing over here, just a bunch of leaf cleanup. Cut back this ornamental grass as well. And then the side of the house really looks nice and clean now. I always just love seeing the early signs of spring. We've got this nice, I think it's an autumn joy sedum. So we've got quite a few of these peppered throughout the property. I think I had rescued them from a client's house who needed them split. So instead of throwing them away, I socked them in here. And then we've got little daylilies that are starting to come up here, which is really fun. And then again, cut back the grasses. We deadheaded the hydrangea. I think it's the same hydrangea as out front. And then it just starts to repeat plantings. We have another little blue stem grass, the autumn joy sedum, the iris are even starting to come up here, which is exciting. So we just came through and cleaned off all the old foliage, and you can see the new stuff coming up. And then some of the bulbs that I planted last year are already starting to come up. I want to say these are tulips. So I'm excited to kind of see those come up. I want thousands more. It's kind of cute. There's maybe 10 bulbs over here, but I want to add a bunch more this fall. But I am really excited. Everything that I did just stick in the ground really late last year is coming up, so everything made it, and I love that. But again, repeat planting, a bunch more sedum. We cleaned out the leaves of my beloved weepy tree. Love this guy, obsessed with him. And then, yeah, we've just got more clean beds, more bulbs coming up, which is exciting. It's just like the first signs of spring, you know? And I did go ahead and cut back some of the roses that I had on the property. Basically, for roses, all I'm gonna do is come in and trim it down to where you start seeing the leaves and the new branches starting to come out. You see that tiny little rosette right there? That's just a new branch coming out. And roses don't like to have crossing branches, so I always try to make sure that nothing is touching when I trim them back. We've got more bulbs coming up here. And then what I think looks the best, or is the most rewarding, I should say, we went through and trimmed back all of the grasses and iris. Now, I normally don't plant a lot of ornamental grasses, or at least they're Carl Forester grasses, in my garden, but these got planted before I moved here. I'm gonna talk with my ornaments, why not? This whole area of our property is what they call the flood zone. So water just collects here. The previous owners installed like a drainage system underneath the driveway that routes the water to a huge rain barrel that we can use, or a rainwater collection system that we can use to water the gardens, which is really sweet. But they planted really thirsty plants over here. So I'm probably gonna keep them here just because they are serving a purpose, they're doing a job, and it does look really nice when they're all grown up. But we went through and trimmed down these grasses. We also have a bunch of Siberian iris, which are gonna be these clumps. But if you look down at the bottom, you can see them already starting to come through, which is exciting. Siberian iris are a little different than bearded iris. They kind of have more of a grassy texture. I can pop a picture up on the screen of what they look like when they're in full bloom and growing to give you an idea. But yeah, and then we just kind of continued down this way, doing the same thing. I am, battling with the fact that we are starting to ramp up as a business, so we're getting really busy. So I'm not able to spend as much time out here as I'd like, which is something when it comes to spring cleanup, to try and get on it as soon as possible, because what's happening now is weeds are also starting to grow. So not only are you doing spring cleanup, but you also have to go through and weed, which was a task today. I wouldn't say we were as thorough as we could have been, but we did really good. I mean, you can see there's crabgrass. There's a good patch of it. I'll show you the ugly stuff. Why not? It's gonna happen. It's natural. But yeah, trimmed all this back. Looks great. There was so much trash out here. We were on like a corner lot. It's very windy, or it has been. And I would say 99% of the trash that we found over here was plastic. A lot of single-use plastic, a lot of water bottles, shopping bags. So just, I don't know. Let's be better. Let's be better about that. I am excited about the farm helping me with that, with trying to reduce waste, grow more of our own food and everything else that we can do. We are allowed to burn our debris since we're not technically in this city. And so we are trying to burn a lot of our debris, which we will then take those ashes and put them in our compost bins, just trying to do our part to, have less plastic and less waste. And then down here, another project that we're gonna have to do is come through and fix a lot of the landscaping fabric. Again, that was here from the previous owner, but it is kind of serving a purpose. I would hate to have to weed this entire section, especially since it's one of the entrances to the greenhouse. But for now, I'm gonna go put my ornaments away. I'm gonna go watch the slow burn of the fire that we're burning all the debris in and relax. I hope you enjoyed watching phase 1 of the spring cleanup at the farm, and we'll give progress updates as everything starts growing. See ya. Wow. When your mother doesn't bless you with lovely additions to your body, you improvise. You like that? God, I am highly inappropriate. I am a child. But this is cute.
And you have a TikTok on it, bro.
I know. That's my nipple. I don't think YouTube's gonna like this. I don't think.
Just for my entertainment.